I mean, you're free to. I mean, I'm not here to like cut anybody down. I think it's just interesting. That's all.
Nah, I love it. All right. What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions, and you are looking at the Fruity Loops Pope. We have game.
Hilarious. What's going on, man?
All right, we just want to talk to y'all about anything and everything. Game hit me up when I went on my I went on a I went on a Twitter rant, a slight tirade, if you will.
Mhm.
Basically I got triggered. Everybody, I got super triggered, and I went deep into my feelings, and it went like this. There was there was like some little producer infighting, and and when it occurred, I was noticing in the comments a lot of the people commenting were like stop fighting, we need unity in the producer community, you know.
Yeah.
And that just that kind of struck me because in my experience, I consider myself more of a boots on the ground producer. I use YouTube to teach. I use Studio One tutorials to teach, and
Hmm.
as far as my production career, you know, I'm out there in the studio, and in my experience, when it comes to working with producers in the studio and those situations, I mean,
Hmm.
there is no community, you know. Nobody sharing samples. Like, it's not like it's not like how it is online. So I
Right.
felt the need to challenge that notion, because I feel like there's a disconnect from what happens on YouTube and what happens on IG versus what actually happens in the studio. And
Right.
I know that you know that a lot is made of what you can do online, and I'm not here to say that you can't make a successful business online, because, you know, you're looking at two guys that have successful online businesses. So what I am here to say is the ultimate goal of most producers is to get in the situation where you're in the studio with artists, you're recording, you're networking, you're making deals, and in those situations, it's musical Darwinism, bro. It is survival of the fittest, and
Hmm.
it is cutthroat, and and it is hard. And
Right.
I just wanted, I don't have the loudest voice, but I wanted to be a voice to put that perspective out there, because there's so many people out right now who are preaching this unity message, and gathering up all of these tribes, and they're telling them like, yo, we're all gonna do this together. um but are we?
Right. Good question.
What do you think,
That's
sir?
that's a good question, and I think you tapped into it. Is that people are trying to galvanize other people, but they're not offering real benefits. So they're saying, okay, yeah, we're producer community, producer unity, producer union, even. You know, there's a lot of names out for it, but what are they doing to really add to their life, add to your life, even? And going to a real studio, I did see, like, I tried to book my guy Semi at this studio, Forge Studio, just to record,
Where's
and
Forge?
he Forge is in. Oh, you put me on the spot. It's near Fort Washington, PA.
Okay, it's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So what's up, everybody? DJ Surge, what's up? Octavius. I used to know this kid in elementary school named Octavius. What's up, C Ray, Nicolian, and Ernest. Just saying what's up, BK Bang and King. So I tried to book studio time with him, and he's like, "You got to talk to the studio manager," because he didn't want to step on the toes of the big dog, my mentor, Ron Silvestro. And but okay. So my point was that they look out for their own. They don't look out for people who are just trying to do what they're trying to do.
Right.
You know. And I think we can have a decent conversation because we have different experiences, but also I think we're overlooking symbiotic relationships instead of the Darwin approach. Like when I was in university at Villanova University and studying biology with like 250 kids in a class, everybody's trying to chop each other's heads off.
All right, hold on. Define symbiotic relationships for the people who are not used to the $40 words.
The $40 words, yeah, that was that was such a bio term. So I studied biology, and symbiotic means I don't know how to break it down, but whatever it means to benefit the other. So
Okay.
if we
Okay.
come together to, like, for example, a symbiotic relationship might be a ladybug and a tree. The ladybug might provide some waste products that feed the tree's branches, whereas the tree provides the sap for the ladybug to live. So it's an exchange. And instead of competing, instead of the ladybug eating the tree and not getting anything, the tree not getting anything back, they figure out a way to create an exchange. So when something takes, something gives back.
So it's kind of
And
like it's kind of like the Venom suit, you know. Eddie Brock is like, yo, I don't want to hurt anybody, and Venom is like, no, we're gonna hurt people, and Eddie Brock is like, all right, we're only gonna hurt bad people, and they're like, bet.
I'm not familiar, but you broke it down. You broke it down. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I would have to be a little. What is that, Marvel or DC?
that's Marvel.
Marvel side. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you know, when I was in university at Villanova University for bio, imagine 250 kids trying to take you out. They're not sharing tips. They're not helping you on your homework. They're not helping you with the quiz material. It's like, why are we competing in this school when we have, you know, millions of other competitors outside the school? Why don't we just help each other in this school and compete against everybody else? Why are we trying to, you know, bring each other down? And it was a terrible environment. And that's where I had to take chaos and bring it into order, creating the pre-med club. And that's where we, you know, our message was unity. Our message was, let's help each other. Stop trying to cut the heads off of, you know, everybody around us, because it doesn't help us in the long run.
How'd that work out for you?
It's God willing, it's still going. I haven't checked up on it.
Really?
It was such a movement that I could leave the club and it still ran the way we had it.
That's
If that makes
amazing.
sense. But I mean, so what's your philosophy on? We know there's false prophets out there that say if you get this, you'll get these benefits. What do you think are some real benefits people can provide producers in general?
Real benefits that people could. Well, what people are we talking about here?
Good question.
You don't have to name names. We could just we
If
could do categories, right? So
let's say there was an imaginary community, like, or unity, whatever, union. I keep saying unity.
You want to do union? Okay, if there was a producer union, since that's the buzzword. All right.
Yes.
So if there, all right. So off rip, if there was, first of all,
so many thoughts flying in our head. I know.
it's not even that. It's this whole idea of the producer union. I don't like it, because the way that Twitter and IG look at the producer union, they look at it as, I'm going to join the producer union and get placements. Right? That's what they see it. And the professional producers who are saying we want to start a producer union, they're thinking of it in terms of an actual union, and an actual union provides an arena to collectively bargain. It provides, you know, through collective bargaining, you get healthcare, you get proper compensation and credit and things of that nature. And then you also have this whole new idea that producers are supposed to be just as famous as the artists, which I don't agree with that at all. But I think that the value that you know, this imaginary producer union should provide, first and foremost, is practical business, music business education, right? So everybody will give you the stock line. Go ahead and get the book, Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business, right? That was the first thing that was the first music business book that I ever read. And by the time I had read it, it was so outdated and it didn't pertain to anything that we were trying to do. Yet we have all of these you know, all of these professional producers who have this just this wealth of experience and information, and the only way that it's getting disseminated to us at this point is 6-minute YouTube videos, you know. And we need a place to go that says here, dude, here's where it all is, rather than, hey, here's a 6-minute YouTube video of somebody's bad experience in a co-pub deal, now go Google how to avoid it. Like that, that does not work for people. I mean, honestly, the best that you can do to get that type of information is to book a consult with an entertainment lawyer, you know. But do you have the money to do that? Are you going to be able to book this person's time? Are they legitimate? So so I think that the main value is some type of vetting process for, you know, to separate the fake news from the real news, and then to see what is what we could do. And then I think another thing that is hugely beneficial is just communication skills and etiquette. You know, because you can go and you can arm all these young producers with all of the business information, and then they go to the studio and you know, say they get a chance to, you know, play beats for Young Boom Boom or whatever, right? And so they're playing their slappers for Young Boom Boom, and you know, they get ready to go make the song. Young Boom Boom is half in the can because he smoked 2 blunts and drank a 4, and he's like, and before they before they even get a chance to do the song, he's talking about, well, hold on, what's the split sheet gonna be? And then you just ruin the entire vibe of the room because you came to armed with this business knowledge, but nobody told you the etiquette of how to of how and when to speak to an artist. You know what I mean?
Right.
And how to figure that stuff out, because that's how, honestly, that's how I got beat out of money with it's kind of an embarrassing story, so I'm not gonna share all the details, but you know, like I had a real placement with a real artist that put out a real song, and you know, he hit me up on FaceTime showing me the song. He's like, yo, you're my producer now. I'm like, yeah, I'm your producer now, you're my favorite rapper, this is amazing. And he's like, yeah, just send me your BMI number, you know, and I have received no royalties from none of that stuff because I was not aware of the etiquette of how to deal with an independent artist who had legitimate fame, and where to even go for the business, because especially if you're dealing with rap,
Right.
and you're not used to dealing with the streets, you're gonna have a problem with communication, because the man I'm dealing with, he is, you know, from the streets, 100%, drives a Charger, wears a gray Dickie suit. You know, that's
okay.
oh yeah, Miami shit. You know, so there is so if you take a 17-year-old kid online, you know what I mean, and then you put him in the situation where you put him with a real wolf, how does he know how to move? You know, how does he know how to communicate? You know, there's a whole, you know, there's a whole cultural aspect of approaching people, because we got now because of you, because of me, and because of all the other teachers online, we have we have closed a certain skill gap and an age gap, right? So now you have people who are 13, 14, 15 working on Grandma Ann's laptop that they have the hack version of FL Studio and 17,000 hours of BusyWorksBeats.com, and they're creating slappers, bro, and they're in a position to place these records, but they're going to be taken advantage of because they don't know how to deal with these different types of people. So I think those two things is the actual business information, and how to communicate with, you know, with artists and just different types of folks is the most important thing, because as a hive mind, right, where we are right now pretty much is everybody knows how to make beats. We all know how to make beats, right? What people don't know how to do right now is they don't know how to finish them. They don't know how to mix them. They don't know how to place them. They don't know how to talk to the artists, and they don't know how to do business. So that's what everybody's missing at this point.
There was a lack of leadership. Like you said, we would get 6-minute clips of, you know, somebody's bad experience, not even a good experience, of a pub deal, how they got screwed out of a placement, how the lawyers did them bad. And if you look at any business, man, of course they take L's. You know, that comes with the daily bread. L's. Yeah. We eat L's for breakfast.
For real.
But you have more W's to outweigh those L's. And I think the narrative being pushed, the only information we get, now I'm thinking about it, is all negative experiences through the business side, quote unquote business side. And there's so much to learn, you know, when it comes to publishing in the back end. And again, here's the better question, is that do people deserve it for free? You know, any business owner or any business information you can get that's actually good online, it costs money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no like free how to make $1 million a year because everybody would be doing it. They're creating competition for themselves. There's so many things about, giving away that information for free, and people don't value it anyway. I know a guy who's teaching a new business model right now, not new, but an acquisition model, and he used to give it away for free. People didn't care. Now he charges 20,000 per person to even teach it. So it's like,
Well, you know what I think about that, because that's an excellent point. I don't have a problem with that. I actually, if I could gather all of this information, and I had the time to write this course, I would sell it for $750, right? That I and I would not feel bad about it, because I believe, like, I mean, there was a time when it came to learning music, musicians would not teach you anything because they had to practice for 7 years to be good at an instrument, So they felt like, dude, why am I going to give you the sauce? And then no, bro, you're corny. You should have to put in the work that I put in. So these people who are trying to form these communities, form these tribes, and put them on, the reason why they tell you to go to Google instead of telling you that is because they're having that same musician experience. You're like, nah, bro, no, I sweat for this. I got taken advantage of. I have these bad experiences. I'm starting to do good right now. I'm not giving it to you for free. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is them pretending that that's not real. Them pretending like I'm showing you how to do everything, and all you got to do is watch The Secret and meditate and think positive thoughts, and everything will just come to you. The universe will just open to you. No, dude. Like, you're leaving out the part where you have to take all the L's to learn the business, and that's and that's the reason. That's the reason, game, why there is no course for this. That's the reason why. I mean, shit. You probably gonna come out with the course in a year and a half.
I say you build that course, and it should go minimum $997.
Yeah, no, yeah,
less than 800. Because you got to realize this stuff is making people tens of thousands, not
dude,
1,000.
It's making people tens of thousands, and it's making the corporations millions.
Yeah, I was gonna even say, yeah. It's really hard to quantify how much business knowledge pays off, and with these higher prices, of course you're gonna get rid of people who are just messing around. They don't understand value anyway.
But that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
We need that back in the game, because I don't care what nobody thinks. I don't care what nobody thinks, bro. The one of the things that it was good and bad, but the whole price point of being lowered, the price of entry to get into production, it took the passionate people out. It didn't take the passionate people out because the passionate people still came, but it invited the non-passionate people. You know what I mean? It invited the nah, bro, I'm just doing this for a hobby type of people, and then it introduced this whole just tsunami of luck, of hobbyists who don't really care, and that's what ultimately watered down the culture. Because
yeah, I can definitely see that. And what's up, Noah? I saw you join. And King, he said what's good. And Music City. Sorry, I agree. It's a blend, because now we're looking at the masses as if they're competition, and I could see that because people aren't telling the process of how to be successful in business. So we're getting these 6-minute clips of somebody's luck story or their bad experience, and half those guys probably have a consultant, like an entertainment lawyer, like you said.
They definitely do. They absolutely do. Because if you go through those bad experiences, that's how you know to lawyer up.
Right. And the lawyer is the one who knows everything. So they're taking those pieces of stuff that they kind of understand and trying to share it, but there's no real person going out to describe it, break it down. I know there's a couple channels on YouTube, but they're so bland, and like it puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
No, I lost you.
Oh, okay. Damn, we getting grainy, bro?
I lost you for a second.
All right.
Yeah, put up your logo for a second. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, there's people out there giving out certain, similar information, and keeping up with Spotify and all the small stuff, but it's just not entertaining enough to pay attention to.
But I think what you said, I think what you said is at the core of the issue, is that the people who are talking, they're just talking about what they understand from their meeting with the lawyer, right? But they know marketing, so they know how important the position of authority is. So they're not going to humble themselves in front of their tribe to say, listen, this is all I understand. They're going to come off haughty and be like, well, there's stuff that you should Google,
Yeah.
Hold on.
And I agree.
Yo,
we love puppies.
Yeah, I gotta let these girls outside. Hold on 1 second, bro.
Take your time. And I was gonna say, even speaking to his point, now we all love dogs. I think we can all take a moment to hug our dogs right now and cry together, just playing. So what's up, Queued Up? What's up, Kaliba? C-Ray's in the building. My favorite two guys to teach Studio One. Thank you, Music City. I just saw that. No one cares how hard you work for something. True. And so back to the music business side of stuff. When you get into the system, so to speak, you have to rely on your team, and that's your lawyer, your accountant team. It's not to say that you need to know everything, but like Craftmaster's saying, it's when people come off to be authorities and leaders, they're almost like false prophets, because they're promising you something, but they really don't know how to get there, even though they look like they're there. And that's all we're trying to talk about today is, how can we guide you there? How can we better help you as a real producer community versus people who try to galvanize just because they're in trouble, and they need the army of producers to help them out because they're in trouble. We've been doing this before the sun came up. We've been doing this since 2 a.m. last night. That's all we think about and dream about is how to help you as a producer community. So, I'm not going to call out anybody. I think everybody has a starting place, but I definitely agree. I was saying how, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I realized you had headphones. I was just saying how in business you have to rely on your team. Not saying you need to know everything about everything in that system, but it's people who position themselves, like you said, as these authorities, and they want to control and lead people when they're in trouble. Call in the producers community when they're in trouble to back them up. So.
And I don't think like I don't want anybody to get twisted. I don't think that what's happening now on Twitter and online where people are sharing what they know, I don't think that's a bad thing, and I don't think that they're doing anything wrong. But it's just the perception of it. I want people to be aware that there's more out there, and that maybe everybody isn't being 100% forthcoming, because when you put your boots on the ground and you actually get into situations where you could be in the game, people are not sharing, dude. Like they are not. It's just not happening.
Here's something that we talked about prior to the live, and again, thanks everybody for watching the replay and joining in. This is a conversation that I was waiting to have with you since yesterday. And I'm glad you had a strong opinion, because that's what we need. Like, people who have opinion. Like, thank goodness somebody said something,
Yo, because everybody's scared to be in a situation where they might lose an opportunity for something. Like, yo, like I don't want to make that guy mad, because maybe one day he'll see me and take me to the promised land, dude. I've got a site named Studio One Tutorials, and Presonus does not like me because I tell honest reviews about their stuff, like that's what I do.
True you are. That's how it shows how true you are to your people, because you're not selling out to the intentions of somebody above you just because some payout or some future thing. Bro, so you're being real.
Honestly, and my folks know this, but the only reason why I even started charging money for my site was because people were asking me to review plugins that I couldn't afford, and one of my subs was like, dude, I would pay a premium membership if it meant that you could buy plugins and review them for us. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then you turned into a thing. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. And like you said, I wanted to write this down before I forgot. It's a friend business. The friends are the ones making, our relationships with East West, Universal Audio, Waves, Isotope, Arteria, all the top companies, Razer recently with Made with Blade. All that stuff came from somebody connecting us with those people,
It
friends.
was a personal relationship, right?
Yeah, friends. Like, and you mentioned this. I don't know if it was on air or off air, but the importance of friends. And then also, before we get to that, I think I wrote this down. Place when people promise placements from using their kits. I
Oh,
think that's like I think that's a bad selling point. I mean, I can see it on a couple things, but when everybody uses that as a selling point, more placements. Every time you use this kit, it's kind of like, you
well,
know,
I mean, it's advertising. It's
yeah,
it's advertising. I know what you're talking about because I buy a lot of those kits, not because of that, just because I really fuck with his sound design. Like I like. It's like he likes this. He gets inspired by the same stuff that I like. Wu Tang and action movies. That's that's my vibe. But yeah, no, I mean people need to understand when they're being sold, and I think and I think that's the point that we're getting to in the in the whole producer era is there's all right, so if you go on YouTube, right? Like say you want to be a prolific type beat producer, you go on YouTube and you type in young thug type Pete. There's one producer that comes up and he's anchored that whole site, that whole keyword. And the reason why he knows how to do that is because he invested $700 in a YouTube marketing course, mastered it, and applied it to something. Like the course is about selling kites. I've seen the course.
yeah,
Like it's literally about they show a guy how to sell kites, right? But
okay,
he was able to apply it to he was able to apply it to to beats, because at the end of the day a beat is a digital online commodity. Now you listen to his music and he's not doing anything that anybody cannot do, right?
right,
Everybody can create that, and there's and taste is subjective, right? So I'm not going to say that he's a bad producer or he's a great producer. What he is he's a prolific marketer, right? So you have different crops of people. You have the people who are learning how to produce, and who are under the impression that, hey, all I got to do is make great music and shit's gonna pay off. But it's never been like that, right? What's different now is there is this music industry middle class, right? And
okay, good term.
they understand marketing, and they're able to go directly to the consumer, bypass the label, you know what I mean, and deal directly with the artist. And the difference between you and them isn't your music. It's not your music. It's are you gonna spend the $700 on the marketing course, bro? Are you gonna 80/20 your shit? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can't be an online producer. I realized that I couldn't do it because I love and I am addicted to creating music, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to do it every day. I have to. It's my happy place, man. I work, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I drive an hour to work. I go work construction in Florida where it's hot and humid all year round, and I come home and I take off my construction mask, and I'm like, all right, I get to be myself, and I get to do this, and it's my sanity. So I know that I can't put in the necessary time that it takes to spend 80% of my time marketing and 20% of my time creating, because then
Right.
it's just gonna make me crazy. But if that's what you want to go after, that's what you have to do. And again, that's my problem with the whole climate. It's not that I don't believe that people are out there genuinely trying to help younger producers or producers who want to start businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they're not being
Realistic.
they're not being 100% honest, bro. They're not being honest. They're not keeping it 100. You'll see somebody at a conference, and buddy will stand up and they'll be like, so how'd you get your YouTube channel? And dude, this guy just paid $400 to come sit with you. He paid $400, and you got the nuts to look that kid in the eye and say, hey, it was just marketing. Fuck you mean it was just marketing, bro? Give him the address to the course. You know what
Right.
course you bought, bro. You know a course you bought. If and if you learned it in school, then tell him to take 2 semesters of digital marketing or whatever they're teaching. You know, tell him where to go. Stop being so fucking vague.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. That's why I'm never scared to share my mentors. These people saved my life. I finally met my mentor this year. And when did we go to La Jolla? I want to say late April. We flew to La Jolla to go to his conference and shoot music videos and stuff. And I was just like, I just got to meet him. And I was like, you saved my life. Like this man, that's the only you saved my life. The only 4 words I've said to this man, you saved my life.
Is he he's your financial mentor, or he works in music business?
I studied him for marketing. His name is Frank Kern.
Okay.
Have you heard of Frank Kern?
I have not.
Oh, Frank Kern. Love the guy.
But I'm about to do the math on Mr. Frank Kern.
Yeah, everything I teach is from, his persuasion. I learned from him. He learned from Dan Kennedy. And if you're in the marketing field, they're in the same ilk as Jay Abraham, Dan Pena. Just quick shout out to my mentors. Ryan Dice, Jeff Walker, Eben Pagan. I love that guy. Jay Abraham, I said that. I feel like I'm missing somebody. John Carlton, Dan Kennedy. Those are the marketers. Like, that's marketing. Imagine saying, like, those are like the Dr. Dre's, the Scott Storches, the Pharrells of marketing. And then we have Pharrell and all the guys in music.
Right.
And like you said, it's like people are going to get these answers, and they go do these seminars and these live shows and these events looking for their guru, their prophet. They get there and they're like, nah, I'm saying you just need to double up, you know what I'm saying, on that, whatever. And they give you the most vague advice. I hate that to the highest degree because, one, people are giving you half the story because they don't want competition. And you got to realize some of these people are only at that seminar because they have to maintain a certain relationship.
Yes.
And they don't want to break that relationship, but they also don't want to give you how to take them out as, competition. And real quick, you talked about like a YouTube course. I was talking to my friend. She was like, should I invest $997 into this YouTube course on how to, do whatever? I said, go for it. Like, you need to invest. You need to learn, period.
How much was your education, your formal education?
Overall, $40,000, which was cheap for Villanova.
Okay, so
I have a cousin who's $200,000.
Okay, so you drop the 40 piece at Villanova. You know what I mean? What is $900 to a 40 piece? You know what I mean? Like that's like that's how you have to look at it. People look at music like it's construction. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like you don't need no education. You can make all of your you can be in the trade, do good work, make a reputation, and and off of that you can start a business. But it's not like that, because the people, like my mentor is the owner of the company that I work for. You know what I mean? He's the only person that I know that that's a millionaire who is a successful business owner, and he did it all by himself from the ground up. He started in the field and came out. So, and I was talking to him about about how he has to bid jobs and things like this, and he was very frank with me, and he looked at me, he was like, Brandon, and I don't know if this is a perspective in all of business, but it makes sense to me because I see it. And he's like, listen, business people, we have a culture, and that whole saying, like, it's just business, that comes from our belief system, where we believe if we can take advantage of somebody financially or in business, and we're not doing good business. And we all operate under this understanding, and that's why you don't have things like people getting killed over construction contracts, because they take the L and they're just like, I messed up, but and that's where I go back to the whole musical Darwinism, when your boots on the ground in the studio, because I see it permeating through anything. And it speaks to what you said about, like, yeah, these dudes really don't want to teach you how to compete with them. Like, if you're trying to be a type beat producer, you're not going to learn at a conference of how to really blow your YouTube channel up. They're going to tell you consistent uploads, respond to every comment, and you know, just put out good content. You know,
I agree. It's funny to me
yeah, no,
because
it's
you know you're such a value creator that to you that's shameful. You know,
yeah.
that's such a lazy, shameful way to. Maybe that's their ceiling of competence, but to you, you're so evolved. You're like, this is not value,
Well,
and that's why we're here to save the producer community, create that structure. Because again, I'm on a mission and a campaign to take out every university that robbed us. Do you know university debt was 1.2 trillion dollars, I think, some years ago,
dude, what is it now?
and it surpassed credit card debt.
Oh
And they
my
all did
god.
it to just rob us
Oh my
blind and put us
god.
in jobs for the rest of our lives. And I'm trying to save as many people as possible. What was your question?
No, no, it's just, I mean, bro, like that's a whole rabbit hole, bro. Because I'm that's what I am, bro. I have that warrior spirit, bro. Like I see these people and I want to destroy them because they're wrong. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just because I feel it on the inside, like you're wrong, you're taking advantage of people. Like the people that I teach on YouTube, like
Mm-hmm.
I have a genuine love and admiration for them because they're passionate about the same thing that I'm passionate about, and they
Right.
just want to learn and teach themselves because I'm self taught. I didn't go to Full Sail, you know. I didn't go to SAE. I had to, you know, I had to be curious. I had to get it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I had to live in a house where everybody was telling me hey man, you're in the gifted program, you're supposed to be an engineer, and I'm just like, bro, you don't understand. I'm a fish and they're trying to teach me how to fly, bro. You know, like
Yeah.
I want to swim, but
Right. I do think there's value in having the physical parts of a studio, like the patch bays and
mhm.
certain pieces of hardware. That's what I do like about certain institutions like SAE in Miami, because we had to speak there at one point. But I would say that again, like you have the warrior spirit, an entrepreneurial spirit. What's your astrological sign? I'm just curious.
Oh, I'm a Scorpio, bro.
Oh, you're a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Awesome. My ex was a Scorpio, so I understand that side a little bit very well.
Yeah, dude, we're
Um,
very feisty, bro.
very to yourselves, very hidden agenda type of people.
Yo, that's that's facts, dude. I'm a total like I'm funny, bro. I'm like I'm an introvert, but I know what I have to do to not be perceived as a weirdo. So I can. That's why I say I come home and I take off my mask. Like
Yeah.
that's what music does for me. It gives me the opportunity to just close everything out and, you know,
Mhm.
and start pumping air and turning it into harmony. Yeah,
You know
that's
what? I literally thought you wore a mask and had to take it off when you came
nah,
in.
bro, nah.
Oh, I got you.
It's a
And
metaphorical mask, dude.
my mission is, you can call it, you know, if we want to talk Gary Vee language, is to disrupt this market, which
Yes,
is
I
we're
love
not
it.
settling for these thieves that get government funding to create workers because they need a bigger workforce because the boomers are dying off. Like there's more boomers than the millennials or whatever. So they need more workers. And the only way they can create more workers is they keep you in school and put you in debt so that you have to get a job to survive. And that's BS. And we're gonna destroy schools like Berkeley if they don't get on this train. We're gonna destroy schools like Full Sail if they don't get on this train. We're gonna destroy who else is a university?
Oh, bro, we're already destroying schools like Full Sail, bro. Like Full Sail, I cannot stand the Full Sail, the Art Institute, SAE,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Straight up crooks, dude. They charge these kids. They charge these kids $100,000 to teach them old shit. To teach them that you're not supposed to boost EQ. You know,
Yeah.
like cut only, only
Cut.
cut. You know, everybody I've ever met from Full Sail, the only practical thing they got out of it was the networking. That is the because again, the whole music industry, it's a small clique, and if you have friends and people like your stuff and they like your personality, that's a huge part. They have to like your personality.
Mhm.
You can't come in as an idealist or a hater.
Right. And I was going to continue to say, let's, as value creators, let's be the new institution for this producers. Let's actually get them real jobs when they get out of our schools. Let's actually put money in their hands when they graduate, instead of this pipe dream of you may or may not get your $80,000 back like we promised. Because for anybody debating a school, what's the reality of getting a job out of school? You know, even the beginner jobs say you need 8 years experience. How am I going to have 8 years experience when there's when I just got out of school and it's the beginner level job? So there's so many lies that we need to uncover, and it's the biggest scam ever
I
is a
feel I,
student loan debt.
I feel like the answer to, maybe not the answer, but people, like the age that we're in now, like we have to be cognizant and aware of what you're talking about, of what school is, because we have a culture issue, right, where our folks are completely disconnected from what we go through, right? Like I'm an elder millennial,
Okay.
1982, the cutoff. We were the first, you know. We know about
Yeah.
dial up and we know about iPhones. Boom.
Dialogue. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we know about America Online, 10 hours free, bro. But you know, like my folks, for example, this is I'll just give you a quick caveat of my story, right? Okay, so I'm in elementary school. I get yanked out of class. They see me doing some weird creative shit, and they call my mom up there. It's like, yo, this kid's smart. We want to test him. So they test me, and they put me in. You know, they put me in the gifted program. Now my mom was, you know, she was a cheerleader, high school dropout. My father was a football player, high school dropout. So they're of that personality type. So they look at me, and they didn't go to college, so they don't know anything about it, and they're just like, oh, okay, well, you've got that in you, so that's what you're gonna do. But
Mhm.
because back then that was the opportunity for them. If you went to college, you instantly got a better job than anybody else who didn't go to college. But to your point, that's not the economy anymore. You know, that's
Mhm.
those opportunities just aren't there. And one thing that's happening is young people don't understand that student loan is something that you have to pay back.
Right.
Like you have to, the whole, one of the main reasons why, because I started at a university,
Mhm.
it was a junior college, and I was paying it myself because I needed to do, you know, I wanted to like start my rap career and, you know, dumb shit like that. And
Okay.
and when, you know, my stepmom was like, yo, you could get student loans. And so I talked, and I looked at it, you know, because I had just bought my first car, and I was like, all right, let me not be a dumbass, let me see what this was, because I was going to go to school for audio engineering, and I knew that even after I got out of school, I was gonna have to do a 2 year internship, and then they told me how I was gonna have to pay it back. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to pay this back, bro. So you know what? I'm just gonna try to do the internship, bro. Screw you guys, you know.
Mhm.
And all of my friends who were the gifted kids, that they weren't of the creative personality, they were of the, you know, the more admin style personality.
Okay.
They're all stuck right now with the problem that you're talking about. They, you
Mhm.
know, they didn't get the $70,000 a year job. You know, we're in a housing market where, you know, where it's $100,000 per bedroom. You know,
Yeah.
and then we're living in the Instagram generation where everybody's taking pictures of their vacation, and we're like, oh, that's what everybody else is doing. Why can't I do it? You know,
Right.
and it's messed up. So this is the first time I've ever heard you speak about the whole destruction of the universities. And I mean, dude,
Right.
anytime you want to brainstorm on that, dude, I am a 100% rebel, and
Right.
I'm down to, you know, metaphorically blow any of that shit up, dude, because it's not right
True.
what they're doing.
I agree, and you're a true value creator. I've been watching for a long time. This is like the first time we talked live or whatever. I'm curious what the chat has to say. What are they saying? But yeah, and I would, you know, if we true value creators who are producers who came from this, who understand the producers we're trying to teach and stuff, we understand and we're real, we're authentic. Why shouldn't we have the control? Why do these people who get funding from whatever venture capitalist and they just hire whoever is a teacher to come into their room, and like it's just such a cottage cheese industry.
Well, you know what?
Cottage industry.
You know what? We're gonna take it from them. Like
Let's do
straight
it.
up. I'm saying it right now. We're gonna take it from them because, I don't know if you know this or not, dude. But like, you're kind of the guy on YouTube when it comes to teaching how to do music, bro. Like people kind of think you're a pretty cool guy, dude. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, I can't master everything. Studio1tutorials.com. That's called that for a reason. It's not called BusyWorks1.com. That didn't make sense. But you mastered that approach. People know me for FL. Do I like it? Not all the time, because sometimes FL bugs me. But there's other stuff. There's Ableton guys. I would rather us have control as a producer community, real people who went through the struggle. I would rather us have control than somebody in a boardroom somewhere. So let's make it happen, step by step. It will happen. It will happen. It's going to happen. It's happening now. But I had a caveat. Oh, you were in the gifted program. So was I, man.
Oh, see, now so it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense, bro.
I didn't know this for a long time.
Revenge of the Nerds, bro.
Revenge. When you get accepted into that program, you're a certified genius, man. Did you know
that? I did know that. I just don't like to say it out loud a lot because it makes me feel weird.
Me neither. Like you're the first person that came out about being in the gifted program, so I felt comfortable to share that too.
Yeah, dude, I have feelings about that program, dude. I don't think that program was there to benefit us, dude. I think that program was there to like
create school shooters or what?
No, bro. Don't even joke like that, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't even joke like that. Yeah, but
I know what you mean.
But it was created to corral us, dude. You know what I mean? Like, why did you go to college, bro?
Wait, I'm lost.
Dude, like, the gifted kids, like, bro, we're the pyramid builders. You know what I'm saying? We're the people who look at the world and we're like, yo, we could make this place better. We have some ideas. We could take this and we could take this and switch this around. And then the establishment is like, nah, bro, you guys go over here. The gifted kids that I know, what they did was they pushed a false sense of entitlement to them. So they weren't successful in college because everybody told them you're a genius and you don't need to do the same things that other kids did. So like our gifted classes they took us out of class for history, for all, it was social studies, language arts, everything but math, right? They came and grabbed us out of class and then they sat us down and told us how special we were. Because like I had this gifted teacher, she's like, you guys are in the top 2%, and like the whole time I'm going through school, I believe this shit, right? So I'm in high school, and literally I don't have to read a book. You give me the test and it comes from a place of, like, in my opinion, it came from a place of common sense, so I was a habitual school skipper. I figured out how to forge all my report cards. When it came out, when they came out with the system that was like they call your house, and I went into the office. I bought a prepaid cell phone. I changed all the numbers to the prepaid cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I was doing fuck shit, bro. Like that's what I was doing because I felt so confined in that space, dude. Like I'm looking around and I'm looking what everybody's doing and the clothes that they're wearing. I'm just like, why is everybody the same, bro? Right. Like that was a huge struggle for me, dude.
You completely personified the experience of being gifted. Like I don't know if it was a class in elementary, they called it Sage or something like that.
I've heard of Sage.
In middle school or like high school, they called it gifted, and you would separate from the group. And they would say you're special. The one good thing I will say about the gifted program at the school I went to is that they had a mentorship thing where we would go mentor like kindergartners. I think that instilled
that's cool.
This kind of looking back thing, maybe. But man, you personified that so well. That's so hilarious.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
Yeah, dude, because I've went, because like when MySpace and Facebook was a crazy thing, right? Because I remember we had this my gifted teacher. It was mad weird. She went through and I don't really think she was a great teacher, but she went through and she wrote down the names of everybody in the class, and she told us what she envisioned our careers being, right? And in Florida, the way the gifted works is they keep you with the same group of kids, from elementary school to high school. So so like we didn't have that experience of like being in Gen Pop, you know what I mean? Like we were only in this circle of 60 kids, in our city for the whole time we were in school, which made us a little weird for that. But
Right.
she sat down and she told us, and she's like, all right, Alyssa, I picture you as a lawyer, and Jared, I picture you as being in finance. And then she got to my name, and she's like, I picture you being a sportscaster. And I was tight because everybody was like a super scientist and this and that. And I'm like, and I had this picture of a sportscaster of like a guy with like the short sleeve button down shirt and like a striped tie and like fat with like ketchup on. I was like, why she, why does she see me like that?
Okay.
And it was crazy. To the thing that made me feel weird was when we were in high school, right? Florida has like this problem with schools overcrowding. So you would have a high school, and then they would have like a portable classroom site. And there was this.
Like,
They had just built a brand new school. It was a high school, and it was next to the middle school, but it wasn't populated with high school students yet. So the middle school was in teams, teams of students. So they picked two teams to go to to be taught at the high school. So they separated us from everybody else. And you know what two teams they picked? They they picked the gifted kids, and they picked, I don't even know how to describe them. They picked the bad kids. So all the kids, and when I sat back and I looked at it, like even as an 8th grader, I'm like, hold on, wait, we're the quote unquote smart kids, they're the quote unquote dumb kids, but we all have something in common. We're all fringe. You know what I'm saying? We all do not fit into the mold. Like these dudes are acting out by fighting. You know what I'm saying? We're acting out by falling asleep and drawing like comic books, and homegirls over here is designing a fashion line because we don't write essays. That's not who we are. But
right.
it was very obvious to me then that those programs were meant to not only, it wasn't real enrichment. It felt like they identified the fringe personalities. They separated them from the rest of the worker bees who they could push the student loans on, and to your point, create
Right.
this docile, non-critical thinking workforce of people that they could trick with this dream. And dude,
it just clicked when you said that.
Dude,
I'm about to cry.
Yeah, and now and now that I just said that out loud, that's why the producer shit pisses me off. Because these guys, whether they know it or not, they're doing the same thing to the kids. Okay, they're doing the same thing to the kids. They're like, all right, so here's this fringe element of society. These people, and I don't mean this in a bad way, guys, but in order to believe that you're going to be a professional musician, you're delusional, right? Because the chances are so crazy that it's not going to happen, that you have to be delusional to believe that you even have a shot, And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just facts. It is what it is. So in order to
You literally perfectly described. Like, I've never had somebody break down what gifted actually was. That was like perfect.
Yeah, because I've put a lot of thought into it, man. I used to, dude. I'll talk to you off the screen about that, but bro, and that's why to bring it back to the whole producer community. That's what these guys are doing. They're taking advantage. They're taking advantage of my people. They're taking advantage of the fringe, and maybe they know that they're doing it. Maybe they don't know that they're doing it, but they're receiving benefit by saying that they're providing you with this value that's going to change your life. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, hey, all you guys are different. You guys are gifted. You have a talent that is that everybody else doesn't have, and I'm going to show you how to monetize it. and then when you go and you spend the money to go to the networking thing, and you spend the money to go to the seminar, and
Hmm.
and you go and you go and you watch the videos, it's just all a bunch of vague shit to keep you on the hamster wheel, you know?
Wow,
And
I never thought
yeah, think about it, bro, because
that.
that's what's happening.
Yeah, and the aha moment I had was when you said they're separating us. So we basically, in my head, I'm thinking they don't want the fringe people to influence and convert the people who are already drones going through the system. That's
Yeah.
how I saw it. I don't know if that's what you were trying to drive home. Oh, did we lose you? Oh,
No,
that's
you
me.
still.
That's my end. Okay.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. I want to
Yeah, there's a
speak.
lot in the chat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
dipped on the chat. Noah West, I know what you're saying about being delusional, but that's a word they use to control high risk dreams. Like obsessed or hyper focused. Yeah, I know that. I know that delusionals. It sounds like a bad word, and I have a tendency to use words that have negative connotations because I'm extremely blunt and I'm extremely honest. But it is, bro. We're delusional, bro.
Yeah.
Like Game is completely delusional. He thinks that he's gonna overtop the topple the American, the American college system.
Yes.
But I love that. I'm not calling him a bad word. That element of delusion and rebellion is what creates greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
Hmm.
I'm not saying that to put anybody down. I think like something like me saying that music creators are delusional. That's something that music creators can take and empower themselves with, like women did with the B word, or like black folks did with the N word. You could take it and you could own it, and you could look at the rest of society and you could say, yeah, that's what we are. But with this, we're gonna move with power. So don't feel any type of way. Like I'm not putting you down. I'm not saying you're delusional. Stop. I'm
Hmm.
saying you're delusional. Start.
Right.
Like go after it.
I had to be some type of what's the word? Irrational, sitting in my parents' extra bedroom with a laptop and a piece of paper, talking about I'm going to create whatever my dream was at the time. I had to be irrational, lest I would just be realistic and never make that abstract thing that doesn't exist in the universe. I wouldn't even bring it outside of the universe bubble here. And that we go over that at the seminars. Is that your dream? Here's the reason why your family is so rebellious against your idea is you have to sell them on something. So your dream is like a ball of energy that does not exist in this seen universe. It's just an energy thing. It's not, it didn't take form yet.
I like this.
Yeah. You
Go
can
on.
see it. You can see the vision. You can see the energy, but it's your job to make more and more people believe in that energy bubble so that when people believe in it, it crystallizes into this physical world that we can see and feel and touch. And that's the whole game of business, really, getting more people to believe. Caffeine said, go look at sites for 3D and 2D art training like Plural Site. I'm choking on my spit, sorry. And the Nomen Workshop. Music needs sites like these. Teach music, sound effects, etc. I mean, Craftmaster's been here doing it. It's just we had to develop ourselves.
Yeah.
To deliver more value, we just had to develop ourselves to understand what we could offer as a I want to say unit, but that sounds cheesy. As a collective kind of group. And I feel like we all have our own unique approach to offer.
Yeah, you gotta
So,
you gotta see who's who and where they're at and what they're trying to do, because everybody has different intentions. Everybody has different motivations. Like there could be some people starting up tutorial channels that are doing it in hopes to build a following so they can sell tight beats.
mhm,
Like there's all different motivations out there, but there is a gang of real people who are passionate about just helping people.
mhm.
And I mean, if anybody wants to come to South Florida and do their homework on Brandon Martinez, if you want to do your homework on CMP, if you want to do your homework on Bez, you could do it, and you could talk to the people that I've worked with in construction. I got young recovering drug addicts that I've took from inside of a halfway house, and I've trained them with a set of real world skills where, you know, 2 years ago they were overdosing on heroin, and now they're skilled tradesmen with a way to provide for themselves, with a way to provide for their family, and you know, and work on a, you know, and work on a real path, you know. So this isn't just something that I do to, you know, to fucking sell you guys arrangement kits and samples, you know. That's a bonus because I put in a lot of time into it, you know, and I need to see something. I need to see something back for that. Otherwise, my fiance is gonna be like, "Babe, can we just watch movies?" And I gotta be like, "No, I'm getting this money." You know what I mean? But that's who I am, guys. That's what I do. Like everywhere I touch, I believe that, you know, you can't get nothing if you don't give nothing. It's like Full Metal Alchemist, you know what I mean? Like you can't just pull blessings out of the air. You got to give that shit first, you know. You have to bring people up. You just have to.
Right. Even Christ or Jesus had a treasurer. Why? Because when he would teach, people felt reciprocity in that inner, you know, balance to restore what they've been given. They need to give something back, you know. So the universe's energy is just recycling what you gave. So I do believe, you know, to the man that helps many, much is given, and the more you create value, I think it's going to come back over and over. I remember you did a video for BusyWorks Beats about the Hollywood song structure.
Yeah, that was a good video. That was a good video.
And so I remember you off of song structure. It wasn't necessarily Studio One, but you just use Studio One as your thing. You even do Ableton stuff because you know music production.
But that's what I do. I don't teach the DAW. Like the reason I mean, I'm different. Like the whole reason why I use Studio One is because no one else was using it, you know. And when I used it, it clicked with my workflow, and I was like, man, I'm gonna teach this. But I always wanted to make it a point where I didn't want to just teach the DAW. You know, I wanted to teach a workflow because that was the gap. That's what the game was missing at this point. Like to keep it real, I've been had the idea of doing the tutorials since like for a while, and I thought I needed a partner, you know, and I was always, and then I seen you doing stuff, and I was like, man, fuck this, bro. All right, I can do it. He's doing it by himself. I can do it by myself. I got this, bro. Let's go. Let's shoot the fade, bro. He's got FL Studio. I got Studio One. I already know he's got them FL heads. So I'm gonna run with the Studio One clan, and we good go, bro. Let's see how we run it. And it was definitely refreshing to reach out to you and for you to be like, yo, yeah, bro, you want to throw some stuff up? That's cool. Because what a lot of people don't know about game is game is like all the way 100, bro. Like I have and you've spoken to this on a previous podcast, and it with Curtis, and it inspired me. But I get approached, and I'm sure you do too. Well, I know you do because you talked about it. But we get approached by people because now we're micro influencers, I guess. So we get approached by people like, yo, push this, you know, and we'll give you an NFR. And it's like, bitch, if you don't get out of my face with that NFR, bro, I don't care about your NFR, bro. Like you gonna have to do a little bit better than the NFR. You know why? Because I'm not gonna use that after I make this video. And when and I always felt like that was wrong, just like doing it for the, you know, just doing it for the NFR. And when I heard you talking about that, and it's like, yo, I only want to align myself with the best. And I was like, yo, that's all right. I'm doing the same shit, dude. Like I'm only gonna talk about the stuff I use. If somebody asks me something about something I don't use, and I see someone else using it, I'm gonna just point them to their video, dude. You know, because I'm just that shit is crazy.
Yeah, and I used to hate when. Oh wait.
It went with the Avengers story.
What's up?
No, it was like, I like the Hollywood video structure. I remember there was a funny story in it, and that's when I broke it down as I compared it to the Avengers movie.
Oh, I see. I'm running out of battery, but I'm going to plug it in real quick because I'm on this other device. Somebody asked the chat some questions. I'm sure they have a lot of questions. I agree. we'll definitely get the questions. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging, but we had some important points. And like you said about,
Yeah, let's show the chat some love right now, bro.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, there's no feedback.
Nah, you're straight.
Okay, good. I didn't want any feedback, but yeah, like you said, and when you get to this level, you're going to get approached by companies. And let me get to my first point, which was when I would wait and I would see who else they would contact. Like if a company came out of nowhere, oh, we have the new whatever that's coming out, we'll give you an NFR. I would wait a couple months. Then I would see that they would get frustrated and just go with anybody just to spread their message. But to me, I can't associate with small, like not even small channels, but channels that just cover everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's a valuable lesson that I learned. I was watching that in my work truck on the way home, and I was like, hold up, you smart, you loyal.
You loyal. Yeah, I'm not signing NDAs. I'm not even signing a contract over. It's not enough for the exchange. We're creating more value than we're getting, and it's okay if you want to build a relationship that way. But it's like we need the value's not there. Like make a better deal, and these companies think because they're corporations that anybody should accept their offer.
Bro, and not only that, we have a whole community of people who want to be the next BusyWorks Beats. You know what I mean? Because like ain't nobody trying to be the next CMP. People are trying to be the next BusyWorks Beats. I'll keep it trill, and they'll think that that's the way to attract the interest. And there's genuine people who are just into technology and they enjoy discovering different plugins. That's not a knock to them, but we know the channels who just go over every damn plugin, and it's like, bro, I know you don't use that, dude. I know you don't use that. So why are we covering that? Because what you're doing is like, yeah, you're getting those 2,000 views, but you're undercutting what we're building because dude, these corporations, they have money, you know what I mean? And if they were to buy a TV ad, they would have to come up off it, right? But people don't watch TV anymore, they watch YouTube. So what are we doing out here working for NFRs, bro? Like really, what are we doing working for NFRs?
I spent like $4,000 promoting like however many videos, and they barely got any views. $4,000 for like barely.
Bro, that's
views.
crazy. You just hurt me.
No, not to say like I'm stunned. It's
no. I mean like the return on the money. That's what hurt me.
Oh.
Like that's crazy. Oh man.
And it's just like if they're not willing to at least pay 50% of what you would pay on Facebook, or 50% of what you would pay on YouTube, it's not a deal. Move to the next one. And again, Louis Vuitton's not accessible to everybody. So if I'm promoting luxury brands and stuff, we got to keep it luxury. Everybody can't have it.
Nah, that's facts.
Did you want to get to the chat?
Yeah. Let's run the chat. I got Q. I've learned so much and knowledge. I don't want to make it see. So okay, that's not a question.
King says, I'm reading a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And one of the first things they say is, in order to receive, you must give. It's the balance of the universe, man.
Oh, I understand what Q's asking. He said, I got a question from you. I've learned so much from you, and I want to share the knowledge, but I also don't want to make it like I'm stealing your content, so I don't share it. I mean, Q, if you want to start a YouTube channel and share lessons that you've learned from me in the way that you've done it, like I don't got a problem with that, dude. Like it's what I'm teaching is finite. You know what I mean? So I can't sit here and say, oh, I'm the person who taught how to, effective ways to write chords on a piano roll. So I'm not going to sit here and say like you can't teach it. Go ahead and teach that because you might have a candor, you might have a face, you might have a style or a story where somebody might gravitate more towards you than they would towards me. Like there's there's a lot of people that like I get emails all the time like, yo, can you please stop cussing in the videos? And I'm just like, no, I can't. I'm a construction worker, dude. Like, I try, but you know, it happens. So,
Right.
dude, go for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah, and you got to remember, we started with nothing, and we went head on with school top tier schools. The reason people love us, you know, I'm not gonna say more, but love us is because we're authentic. We
Yep.
actually are producers. We actually create the stuff on the software. It's not like how to make trap beats and they give you this like garage drum sound. It's like nothing close to trap. Um, I had a point that I was gonna say, but I forgot. Let me wipe my nose real quick. 'Cause my
Yeah,
nose
we got let's see this sounds corny, but I get high off of giving. That's not corny, bro. That's not corny. That's how we're supposed to live as humans, man. That you were doing the right thing.
right. Oh, I just
Uh,
thought of my point. I know what it was.
what you got? What you got?
It was he was asking, is that gonna offend us? And in the beginning, like when me and you first became names, it was more creative competition. It's like we want to be
Yeah.
the best we can be. It's fun to compete. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But then now we're at a point where we're so distinctly different. Now we can create more value if we come together and create this influence or whatever we want to do. So you Q, if you start creating these videos, at first you're going to be seen as competition. Of course, we're going to have our natural instinct to go just snipe you from 1,000 miles away. But you got to remember, now we're at the point where we can build out our team because we can't be operating in the business all the time. It's going to
Nope.
stress us out. It's going to make us tired. So I'm building a team currently looking for like blog contributors, video editors, like video content people, like Q, for example. What else are we looking for? I forget. Graphic designers, sound designers. So I'm looking to pick you up and give you a platform so that you can let your talent shine. And it's as simple as that. You know, it's a balance of like competition but building a team. So that's what it is. I mean, there's hundreds of YouTube channels that they might watch your video and then there will be a video with the same exact title, like one word changed on the same topic about Ableton or Studio One. You know?
Yeah, and that's YouTube, man. Yeah, because definitely in the beginning, like we were out there, like we were out there early. There was a few other channels that were out there early, and it definitely it definitely felt like a silent competition, bro. I'll tell you straight up, bro. Like I bought your chord magic class, and I was like, bro, I could do this better. He's teaching this from the point of view of a musician. I'm gonna teach it from the point of view of somebody who clicks, you know. And it was like I was like, why are we starting at zero, bro? You're getting real confusing. That makes sense if you play, but that's that. It's just refreshing to hear that you had that same type of vibe, you know,
Yeah.
because I felt it. I was like, man, we gonna go, dude. But
It's still. Sorry, I didn't
but
cut you off.
but no, it's a different time now, and you're right. It's because we had to build our thing. Marcus Davis wants to know. I would like to hear y'all perspective on what the next level is. First it was tight beat. Now everyone is doing tutorials. What's next in y'all's eyes? I don't think that everybody is doing tutorials.
Yeah. I
You
think
had
internet money made it popular, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, internet money definitely made it popular, and they made it seem like everybody is doing tutorials. But their system is a little bit different than ours. And I only know from I'm only I don't want to speak on them a lot because obviously I don't know them, and you know they're doing what they're doing. But from what I've seen, you know, like on Twitter and stuff, like it's part of their group obligation to populate the tutorials. You know what I mean? That's something that if you're in their group, that you have to do. And if I'm wrong about it, anybody from Internet Money, you can correct me. This is not shade at you guys. You guys have a great channel, and you were inspiring a lot of young producers to get on and showing them that there is a way that you can legitimately go from the internet to the industry. And I think I think that's really cool. So because like internet money's like one of those toxic words where if you don't say the right thing, you get that internet money hive coming at you, and they're like, bro, fuck you, man. And it's just like, nah, dude, it's cool, bro.
I think there was a misconception a while ago. Even with Mr. Different, there was a misconception because he's been on your channel with your conversations.
Yeah, I love
And,
Slim, dude. He's a good guy to talk to, man.
yeah, it was really just it was the inner warriors coming out, and
No, that's exactly what that was.
But to the internet money thing, it was really at the time I had a problem with what Taz said to Ninth Wonder in disrespect, as you know, person to person. It had nothing to do about what he was doing on internet money. I even made it clear I want producers to elevate, and we have elevated in these last couple of years.
Nah, but you said some fuck shit, bro. You came out and you called them boys a cancer, and you were like, type beats are crazy because you weren't understanding their perspective. You were looking at it as like they were copying, and you were like on your musician high horse, like, bro, we need to be creative and you know, build new sounds. You know,
to be fair, I think that's where word of mouth kind of took my message completely wrong. I never said anything about type beats. I actually said it was one way to market. Like you said, if you type in Young Thug type beat, it's a marketing SEO technique. And then who's going to pop up? Cash Money AP.
Okay, period. Well then to be fair, maybe you just weren't clear enough about what you were trying to say, because it felt like because I was watching that whole thing and I'm just like, man, why is this dude talking crazy, bro? Like these are just some
trying to galvanize people in disrespect against somebody who created a platform for us to even exist online. You know, Ninth Wonder, not saying he's the alpha omega of the producer community, but he definitely was one of the beginner people who made this cool to make beats on their FL Studio.
No, he was definitely that guy. If you remember that time period, it was okay. So history time, right? This is my favorite. So the Ninth Wonder came out on Threats, right? Black Album, the R. Kelly loop, right? So during that time, if you were a producer, the Fruity Loops guys, they were coming. This is when it was still Fruity Loops. So off rip, we didn't respect you. But there was you either produced on that's what it's called, bro. It's Fruity Loops. All right. So if you produced on Fruity Loops, the thing and you can respect this, you didn't have any chops. You couldn't play. You were just clicking stuff in. Everybody else who was making beats at the time, we were on a Roland Phantom, we were on an MPC and a sound module, but it required, even if you were quantizing, it required some some type of playing chops. And if you couldn't, and there was nothing to program the melody, if you couldn't play a 32 note roll on your or you couldn't play a chord strum, then you couldn't have it, and then what happened is FL Studio changed it to where if you had the idea and you could draw it, then you could have it. And that pissed a lot of people off, because in order to get good enough to be a successful producer, you had to put in those years of practice of finger drumming, of learning chord shapes, of learning how to play a guitar, understanding melody. So when Ninth Wonder came out and it was a sample based beat, it wasn't like a Soulja Boy beat. It was a sample based beat with good drums, and it was on the Black Album. The Black Album was a huge album because Jay-Z had told us that he had retired, and we were not ready for him to retire. And then he comes back, and then the producers online found out that, like, yo, Ninth Wonder made a boom bap beat on Fruity Loops, and it placed on Jay-Z's album. That's what got everybody to say, yo, let's go with Fruity Loops and let's run it because we can do this. And that's when everybody started cracking Fruity Loops, and we're trying to flip samples and stuff like that. So that is but the thing is, there's a disconnect because people from their age group, they believe. And I don't know why I went back and forth with this discussion with somebody, but I get caught in this sometimes. But people believe that Metro Boomin made Fruity Loops popular. People think that Metro Boomin was the person that made it acceptable for people to do hip hop on FL Studio. So that's where that whole disconnect comes from. And I mean, sometimes you got to have empathy for a younger man's perspective, because they don't have, they weren't, their awareness, they were a child when the Black Album came out, so they don't have that same awareness of black of Ninth Wonder and what he meant. And actually there's irony in that, because what Ninth Wonder represented to hip hop when he placed on the Black Album is the same thing that the internet money boys represented. It was a cultural shift. It was a change in the tools. It was a change in the techniques. It was a change in how people got on,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and that's probably why those guys got so offended, is just because you're coming at me, and dude, you did the same thing. You did the same thing.
And I can agree. It is that revolutionary turn. It's like, it's when people start to see the producers who were coming up off FL Studios real competition. Now they're not competing against just Pharrell and just Blaze. Now you got those guys competing against 2 million now producers who all have either the cracked version, hopefully they bought the real version of FL Studio, and it's just like anybody. You have, it's almost like a terrorist group with different cells in different like cities or something, just popping up out of nowhere. So they saw it as like this cataclysmic competition wave, and they had to demonize it because that's their only way of defense. And I could see where Taz Taylor was fighting for the online producer. I get it. I think my words got misconstrued because I was calling out the disrespect to another man. It was disrespectful. He was like, "Yo, your beats are trash. They sound like 1993." It's like, you didn't have, if you had a point, we could do it without bashing and trying to bring another man's name down.
Yeah, but you're talking to a 20-year-old, bro. Do you remember what it was like to be 20 years old, dude?
I mean, looking back, maybe I should have kept my opinion about the disrespect out. But to me, I was defending people who laid the foundation for us. To Taz Taylor, he was defending the new school of that new revolutionary energy that maybe Ninth Wonder had when he was using FL Studio, Fruity Loops. And Ninth Wonder was defending his position because he sees this cloud of producers storming the front, So everybody was like in defense mode around this change. And I think it caused a lot of tension. But regardless, Taz is doing cool things. He's living his dream, I guess.
So dude, he's doing great things, bro. And if he continues to, foster this environment where, where other young guys can come under, I don't know exactly what he's doing, but if he's actually taking these young guys and showing them the business at 17, 18, 19, that's pretty much the same thing that that we spoke about earlier about like what is the real value. Like he's creating a value that is beyond what these conferences are doing, but unfortunately he can't do it for everybody because he's so busy handling his personal business that he can only do it for his circle. And
that's where it leaves room for other people to take that position. Like, for example, producers kind of get it twisted. They think we all have to have the same dream, like the same exact way of success, so to speak. Like for me, success in collabs and placements is working with the best companies, period.
Yeah.
Like I'm working with one company worth way more than all the artists these people have worked with. Razor was valued at $5 billion as a public company. And
Razor is valued at $5 billion?
Estimated. They never really know because you don't know what best investors are going to buy.
Right.
Because you can buy 7 times multiple, even 20 times multiple.
Oh, they're not public yet?
They are public.
Oh, they are public. Okay.
They're trading, I think, in Chinese currency, HBK, Hong Kong, whatever they call their currency.
Oh, okay.
But regardless, that company is, like, to me, that's like the pinnacle. Who's bigger than that? I don't know, Walmart? So I'm not looking for, I'm just saying Big Sean as an example. I'm not looking for a Big Sean. I'm not looking for a so-and-so to kind of give me that social proof that we talked about, I guess, off camera. But I'm not looking for that as social proof. I'm getting different results. To me, that's success.
Right.
But everybody thinks you have to work with so-and-so to be, or have certain credits to be a producer. And I think we're in a new world. I want you to, all I propose to the community is just open your mind. We're in a new world with new opportunities. How many YouTubers do you think make YouTube channels every single day?
Oh, plenty, bro.
Plenty, and they all need music to some degree. I'm not saying that you're gonna master that game. I'm just saying think of that as the new film industry. Like just change your way of thinking a
Yo,
little bit.
that's important. Because there was I think it was I think it was Illmind put this idea out in one of his short clips where he was talking about everybody's chasing the same 10 placements, and I feel like more awareness needs to be brought towards that, because it's just like I get it. We all love 808s. We like I'm gonna never stop making trap music. I came up on Miami bass music. I came up on Southern hip hop. That is like my heart beats to a 74 beats per minute 808 drum. Like that's my vibe. However, you know, there is more to music than just placing beats with a rapper, and I think I think that's another that's another value that needs to be pushed more for, you know, more to the forefront is what are these opportunities, man? Because I just okay, I just wrote 14 syncs for Pepsi, or not for Pepsi, for an ad company that's placing it with Pepsi, right? And you know, the first thing, if I like, I'll speak about this now, probably the first thing people want to know is, how did you do that? You know, how did you even get involved with that? And I got hit up by someone who see me on YouTube, respects me, thinks that I'm talented, wanted to make a connection. You know, I spoke to them. They're cool people. He's like, bro, I'm gonna put the sauce on you. So that's how these things happen. It's all through networking, and being able to communicate with somebody. But the first thing that I did, for him, and this is what a lot of people don't understand about these exchanges, and I've heard you speak about this before. The first thing I did for him is I provided him 2 years of value. You know, before he even approached me about teaming up. You know, he watched my channel. I helped him out with some things. You know, he has his friends in LA that you know, like, that are paid subscribers to my site. You know, that I help him out with stuff. I've never gotten anything from anybody that I asked for. You know, it was always a situation where I gave them something first, like meeting up, like, for example, meeting up with Gunplay. This is a fun story. So the person who owns the studio that, you know, that worked with Gunplay, and who recorded Kevin Gates and everything, he was a rapper, I was a rapper, we would be at the same shows. And I respected his lyricism, so so we would talk and chop it up, and I'd be like, yo, let's just go do a song. Now this dude he was like kind of like the underground king in Miami at the time, as far as the Spanish hip hop scene was concerned, and everybody was always coming to him for something. Everybody come to the studio, you know, let me get this, let me get that, let me get this, let me get that. And I wasn't cognizant of it. It's just how my personality was. I seen everybody asking him for stuff, and I was like, man, I ain't gonna ask him for nothing. I'm just happy to be in here with these artists and feel this energy. And after doing that for 2 years, and just being there for him, you know what I mean? Hey, you know, would you run to McDonald's and get everybody something real quick? You know, yeah, no problem, bro. I got you. All right, here's the money. Nah, you keep the money, bro. It's McDonald's. I got it. Don't worry about it. After that, I had built up so much sweat equity with him, and we became real friends, that when it came time, you know, to engineer Kevin Gates, or when it came time for Gunplay to look for music, or when it came time to submit beats to Lil Wayne's Latin artists and stuff like that, he knows producers who are better than me. I'm not afraid to say that, but he calls me first. He always vets me first. You know, he's like, let me see what you got. Can we push this? I mean, he can go to Hugo Diaz, he could go to anybody, but he'll always come to me first, because it's like you always talk about. I provided value to his equation first. I wasn't a taker. I wasn't just always looking to take from somebody. And I think that's the first lesson in networking that always gets overlooked. Like, people are like, just network. You can't just network. You have to identify somebody and say, what can I help them with? And once you go and help somebody, like and it keeps coming back around to this because it's serious, but once you help somebody, they're gonna remember that, and it's human to reciprocate. That's just that's what we do, man.
Right. And one of my mentors, shout out Guap Dad 4000. No, that's funny. One of my mentors, literally in his business strategy, he says he will bring the banker so much business as a new banker. He will, or not, sorry, not a new banker. My apologies. As a new lawyer in the law firm, he will bring them so much business that they'll rank up as ultimately a partner in the law firm, which is like a higher position. And he'll always remind them that he sent them the business to rank them up. And in return, reciprocity wise, they offer more deal flow and they close on more deals, which means ultimately that's coming back to you in the form of value. Like you said, there's a structure to this giving stuff. Yes, give without expectation, but at the same time, you know it's going to come back. You don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had my point that I was going to say earlier is that the producer's dream is to get a placement with an artist. What do you think the artist's dream is? What is their placement? What's their form of a placement?
You asking me?
Well, it was. I would like to know your answer. I don't want to give my answer away.
Okay. The artist version of a placement is, I think it's ultimate recognition for their talent, to perform in a stadium full of people, to get a Grammy, to get a platinum plaque. Not even they don't think about the money. It always comes back to recognition, and I think that's the same thing with this era of producers. You have your tag, and you want to place with an artist because you will be recognized. That's what we're doing. We want to be recognized for our talent.
Because if it were only about the money, there's so many other ways to get money in the music industry. You can go direct to these companies and build relationships direct. You don't need to go through an artist for them to monetize that relationship. Why not talk to Pepsi direct? I'm just saying Pepsi.
Yeah.
What's a fashion? Why not talk to Adidas directly and get like a Metro Boomin Adidas line rather than Metro Boomin makes a Drake beat and Drake gets the sponsorship with Adidas. I think he's with Nike now.
You know why people don't do that? I'll tell you why. Because they don't think that's even possible. I had a situation, like I've been hustling, right? So when Tech Nine was doing the Hostile Takeover tour with Machine Gun Kelly and everything, I was like, I had done the rap thing. I ain't make no money in that, so I was like, all right, let me try to be a booking agent. Let me see if I could put this together. I had a partner. We found an investor, and we bought the show, and we brought it to Pompano Beach, Florida. When I tell people that I did this, the first thing that they ask me is, how on earth did you, just a regular person, put on a rap show? You don't have any clout. And what people don't realize, Game, is that these companies are waiting for us to call them. They're not, they don't have anybody like for example, a rap tour. They don't they don't pick where they're gonna go. They have to have independent promoters buy that shit. You know what I mean? So they're waiting on my phone call. They're not just like, yo, who are you? All they care about is, can you deliver on what you're saying? Oh, okay, well, here are the terms of the contract. Are you all right with that? Well, let's sign up. Do you have my deposit? All right, let's go. And that's and that's how that works. Like, people have this mentality that that everybody's up in this ivory tower and you can't reach them. You know what I mean? The way that I got in contact with Strange Music is I Googled Strange Music's office number, and it was there. And I picked up the phone and I called the office and I said, "Hey, I'm Brandon Martinez. I'm a booking agent in Miami, Florida, and I want to buy the Strange Music Hostile Takeover tour." And they were like, fantastic, we'll send you our package. Like, these companies are already prepared to do business with you. It's just your perception of yourself, of thinking that you're not worthy of doing it for whatever reason. But if you believe inside yourself, like, dude, I am an entrepreneur, I am a producer, I am a musician, this is what I do, then going to do it is just like waking up.
Right. And it's funny you brought up the show thing. I know of someone who was in the craft show business, and they had a craft show business on the East Coast. What they did was they raised capital by going to a bank who actually has an obligation to get money out the bank. A lot of banks are under capitalizing operations, meaning they have more money they have to get out than they can get out every month, and they get penalized for doing that. Because when you keep money in the bank, it goes, you have to fight inflation. They need that money to grow, so they can have easily 100 million under lended.
So they have to put it out.
So that company on the East Coast with the craft show business went to a bank, asked for a large amount because the bank has to get it out. Okay, so however many million, and they go buy up shows on the West Coast so they can expand their business through acquisitions and buying out shows. I don't know if that's similar to what you meant by buying a show, or if you just meant they need talent. Is that what you meant? For the
No,
show?
no. Like so the way it works is, I don't know about anybody else's stuff, but the way that Strange Music was doing business at the time, they're prolific tours, so they wanted 99 shows in 3 months, and the when I spoke to them, that was our goal. So we're looking for people to buy the show, meaning we're looking for people to spend spend X amount of dollars to pay for the artists, and then it's your responsibility to promote the show, and then you keep the gate, so you do your business however you do it. You pay us half now, half when we pull the vans up. We need here's our rider, and just make sure you can fulfill the rider, and we need a van and a driver to get around locally, and that's it, and we put that shit together, dude, and we did it. A couple of Puerto Rican kids from Florida, just trying to do something different, just trying to get it, and we took a bath on it, but it was an amazing learning experience because it showed me that that we aren't just what people tell us we are, because for a long time people told me something different. People told me I was something, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not that. I can do other things, and it's just crazy to have it's like manifestation, bro. Like, to have an idea, to just sit there and talk with your friend and be like, hey, I would like to do this, and then to just say it and speak it, and then all of a sudden, like, Machine Gun Kelly is performing in the club and you're collecting everybody's money at the door. Dude, I got into a fight with the club owner because they were selling tickets in the ticket line, trying to steal my gate, bro. Like, it was,
oh wow,
dude, rap sucks, bro.
Messed up equity, yeah, clubs. But hey, one job to definitely get girls on you is club promoting jobs.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that's the same, but
no,
in New York, if you're a club promoter, all you have is girls following.
Oh, dude, it's the same in Miami, bro. It's that's the plug right there, dude. Like if you want to do a lot of work in the streets, promote Live on Sunday, dude.
Promote Live, yeah. I see my girl, not my girl, but like my girl, Holly K. She's always in Club Exchange, like, cause she runs the whole like modeling scene basically.
Right.
And she's just rocking in Club Exchange like every night. I'm like, you guys party every night?
That's what they do, bro. That's the dude. This is what they do, bro.
Sheesh, Miami is intense. And when you brought this up earlier, it reminded me. If you go to Miami as a visitor and you see actual Lamborghinis in traffic, Bentleys. What's the car I'm talking about? What's not a Bentley?
Maseratis. It's regular. Maserati. It's regular. You pull up at Publix and you pull up in your Honda Civic and you will park next to a Bentley.
Rolls Royce. That's the car. Just casually in traffic, yes. It motivates you. And it makes you wonder, like you said earlier, it makes you question, like, the system that we were brought up in. Like, why aren't we seeing the same results? And that's what conversations like this create, is you to break out of that box that they put you in. Noah said, what made you get into giving through music? Do you remember your first thing? What does that mean? Your first thing?
The first time, what made me get into giving through music before I taught on YouTube. I taught in person because like no, you've been on the stream, so you already know I'm a nerd. I am like, the reason why I'm good with arrangements, and that's kind of what I like my niche with teaching, is because it's the way that I visualize things, and it's the way that I visualize a linear DAW, and I could see it before I do it, and I can also hear it before I do it. Like, it's weird. Like, when I start with a beat and I've got the kick snare and the melody, that beat is already done. I'm in a race to not bore myself to finish that beat. Like, that's how my mind works. And what I would do is, I noticed that musical people, I would meet people who could. The people I met, they were musicians. They could play instruments, but they couldn't close the technology gap to fulfill what they wanted to do. They could record on a 4-track, but they couldn't. And I'm like, dude, you could do so much more. And I would teach them. I would meet them in the studio, and I would teach them. I would teach them in person, and just seeing the look on their face of when they finally get it and it clicks for them, and they can take their creative idea and translate it, and then go on their journey to further step towards their dreams. Dude, it's a rush, bro. You know what I mean? It's just so cool to know that, to know that, bro, I helped you do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's really neat. That was mine. What was yours, Game?
Yeah, it's that fulfillment. It's the stories you get, because we don't know our own value until people tell us our value back to us. So we're ultimately looking to you as a mirror to find our true selves. That sounds corny.
No, but that's facts, dude. Because and to be honest with you, it still makes me uncomfortable, bro. Like, I am not I am not good with and maybe it's the way that I came up of people telling me what I was, but I'm just not good with people telling me that, like, it just makes me feel weird inside. Like, bro, you did this for me. I'm like, I just made a video, bro. Like, it's not that big a deal. Thanks, but that's something I got to get better with.
Yeah, to you, it's a day in the life. But the most beautiful thing is when you get time to rest and you just absorb how much you're changing people's lives. Like, I used to get a rush going through emails that I've recently found, like, over 500 emails that were sent to a spam folder that I didn't know about. And it was causing a lot of chaos on the back end. But we found the emails, thank God. And I used to go through emails just reading testimonials. Game, you helped me get into Berkeley, even the conservatory. I respect that. Some universities do train you to be great musicians, but beat makers, it's a different thing.
Yeah, it's different
Like,
mentality.
the computer is the instrument.
Yep.
Your DAW is the instrument. Game, I had a recent similar story about someone who was a crack addict. And, teaching him FL Studio helped him take that desire, like, I guess, the high of crack or whatever, and convert that into his love for music. And now he learned how to apply that to get his desire. Got him off crack. What's another testimony? Just so many people getting studio jobs, nominated for not Emmys? Is it Emmy? Yeah, nominated for an Emmy. Man, just so many lives changed, and it's like the best feeling in the world. There's nothing that really can replace that.
Oh, Noah was asking how we got into music. No, I'll tell you a funny story. Like, I will keep it 1000% with you, bro. The reason why I got into music, well, first, when I live with my mom and my dad. They're very different personalities. They got divorced early. My mom was is super Christian lady. All right, we did not have cable. We were, me and my brother, we were very sheltered. Church on Sunday and Wednesday. We didn't. She'd say stuff like, "Nah, we're not buying Doritos because because God doesn't want to get us to give our money to this company that." Like, she was deep into it, right? So there was no listening to the rap music in the house. So of course I had to go get this rap music, right? So I go out I get a dub of Doggy Style, and this is the first time I've heard people cuss like that, dude. And I'm listening to them, and you know, and Doggy Style is a very explicit album, very like I go back and listen to that album, I was like, yo, y'all didn't need to say all that, bro. Like, yeah. But anyway, that like that fascinated me, and I just kept on wanting to listen to it and analyze it and listen to it and analyze it. And then I had this thing that I could do with how I listen to music, where I could just hear a snare, or I could just hear a kick, you know, like I have like a mental mixing board, and I could solo shit. That's how I could like transcribe drums, and you know, and that's why I'm a half-ass decent engineer and everything. But as far as wanting to like get into music and record, man, I was in like 7th grade, and this Cuban girl had moved to our neighborhood from Miami, bro, and she was gorgeous, bro. I thought she was the most beautiful girl of all time, and I just had to like impress this girl somehow. And my buddy Jay, he had began rapping, and he wrote this rap. I'm the nappy head pappy out of Brooklyn, Queens. I'll never forget that rap. But anyway, he said that rap to her, and she just went nuts, bro. And I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to rap now. And then I did it, and then I started doing it, and then as I started writing raps, my ears changed. So first I didn't know how to rap on beat, and then I started writing raps, and I figured out that the rhyming words hit with the snares, and so like the way that I started to experience music was different, because when you're a rapper, you're just constantly creating rhymes and punchlines in your head all day. You know, I'm just going around mumbling to myself, you know, making the beat in my head, and I was like, dude, I got to record this. So I went out and bought a 4-track. And once I had a 4-track, I was like, yo, I like these faders, and I like mixing the stuff. And that was it, bro. How did you get into music as a musician, Game?
Little stories here and there. Mainly student loans forced me into music.
Really?
When I was in college, I was like, what am I going to do to survive? And the only thing I knew was FL Studio, because I was messing around with it in high school. That's how I got started with BusyWorks beats. But music, you could trace it all the way back to like childhood. I was in like the church choir as a boy. Even when my mom would turn the left turn signal, my brain would treat that like a metronome. I didn't know what it was at the time.
Yeah.
But the tick of the turning signal became the metronome, and my brain was creating music around it.
That's
and
dope.
I lost track of the metronome sound. I just remember that experience.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's wild. Maybe that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's like similar to what happened to me with the snares, because I didn't play instruments. You know, I'm writing to the beat, but that's how I learned arrangement, because I was in a group, right? And we had 4 rappers and a singer. So we're rapping over industry instrumentals, and there's only 3/16s on that, and I'm sitting here counting the snares, right? And I'm like, okay, so 2 snares is a bar, there's 5 of us, and you know, when you're creating, like when you're doing vocal music, like it all comes down to like mic time, you know, and it gets very, very, you know, everybody's very picky about their mic time. So what I was able to do is I was able to break up those beats so that we could fit the 5 of us on it, and everybody have the same amount of bars, you know. So I'll be like, all right, there's 5 of us, you know, there's 32 plus 16, whatever that number is. There's this amount of bars. Let me split them up in this way. So me and my dog are gonna go back and forth for 4 bars, like Styles P and Jada Kiss, and then we're gonna have the singer come in and do 4, and then we're gonna do 8 of this guy, because he's really strong of dropping 8s, and then this guy always writes a great 16, so we'll have him drop his 16, and then we'll finish the song off by going back and forth. So and I like, one of my mental talents is I'm able to visualize that. So when I actually made I wish I still had the notebook, but I made my own version of like staff notation, but for bars in arrangement. So I would, like, when everybody was, and I was always the first person to finish writing their rap, so I would always be able to, you know, go back and look at my staff and be like, all right, we're gonna put him here, and that's how.
Never hear you rap again.
What's up?
Are we gonna hear you perform again?
Man, probably not, dude. When I got into production, it was I kind of was like, man, I should have been doing this all along, because that's what I was doing with the with arranging the vocalists, you know what I'm saying? And I was always the person who was hitting record on the 4-track. I always had to stay sober while everybody was like lit as fuck, you know, because I have to work the machine and make sure it sounds right and everything. And you know, once I got into and I was always trying to control the group. I was like, nah, bro, change your rap, do this and do that. When I got into production, I was like, yo, this is the control that I always looked for, but instead of doing it with humans, I have it with you know, I have it with this machine, and I could create whatever I want. I could create an East Coast track, I could create a down South track, I could make an EDM track, I can do whatever. Because there are no boundaries here. I don't have to worry about someone's feelings. And it's just like I got to a point, like at the height of my rap powers, like I got to a point where I was doing the no paper thing, where I wasn't doing it like Lil Wayne does it, where you just punch in every 2 bars. Like, I was writing whole 16s in my head, and then the method in which I was writing them, I would have to make these little memory tricks at the end of every 4 bars, so that I could actually remember what the next thing was. And once once I got to that point and I started making my own beats, I didn't want to write raps to my own beats. Like, as weird as that sounds, I couldn't do it. And then the other thing that happened, dude, was when I was writing raps, it came from a place of pain. You know, I was frustrated. You know, I was frustrated with my place in society. I didn't know where I was going, and I had art to. I was never like I'm gonna make hit songs rappers. I was like, I'm gonna talk about government conspiracies and how they're trying to control us type of rapper, you know. And you know, like the same stuff we're trying to act on right now. So once I got once I got married for the first time and I started making like grown up money, it was just like I felt kind of phony, you know, rapping, because it's just like, I'm not mad about anything anymore. So what am I really gonna rap about? I'm gonna rap about, going to Prime 112, with my lady. Like, that's not cool. Nobody wants to hear
Prime
that shit.
Right.
Nah, dude, I'm a ridiculous foodie, bro. All my money goes to restaurants. I'm awful. But you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. I'm a very as you guys might have figured out right now, I'm a strong proponent of like honesty and so I'm like really, what am I rapping about? Like, if I was to rap right now, like, what am I gonna rap about? You know, being the Studio One tutorial guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, being 35 is so hard, you know, like air conditioning, like, dude, like
Air conditioning. That's how I felt when I got rid of my stuff. I'm like, until you get rid of your comfort, you don't realize like how much stuff you actually have, building up that comfort bubble.
Yeah, that's facts.
And I started rapping. Like, it's funny how you articulate, because you pull up all the thoughts that like escape my mind about the early days. But I too used to rap, and then there was a group in my neighborhood that wanted to rap. They would come over to record on my little pencil. It looked like this thin of a microphone.
Oh, I remember that.
Walmart or something.
Were we recording in the Cool Edit?
Cool Edit Pro.
Yeah, boy.
FL Studio.
Yeah, boy.
You learn. That's kind of where I discovered I liked being a producer more. And then you shift to the other side. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, I want to rap over my beats now. So now I'm trying to do the rap over my beats thing. You see me in the music videos. You see me back in my element.
Yeah, we need
those are freestyle.
We need some performance shots in the music videos, man. We need we need to see what you're doing.
Jay's my guy. He didn't grow up he grew up on hip hop, but sometimes you gotta swing that camera.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I think I had a change. What happened to me was I was doing a lot of music creation for the channel, so I'm making all these beats off of requests, and I got kind of irritated with it, because people just wanted to see the same thing, and I got into this place where with my YouTube channel, I don't do any type beat tutorials anymore at all. I don't do that shit. I on my YouTube channel I decided, listen, this is the free stuff. Y'all are gonna listen to my music. All right. Y'all want to watch my channel? If I'm getting if I'm getting into sampling, y'all are gonna watch me sample until I'm tired of sampling. You know, and I'm gonna teach you some stuff and I'm gonna give you some value and it's gonna be dope. But you know, I'm not gonna teach you guys how to make Mozzie beats and stuff like that. If you want to see that, sign up for studio1tutorials.com. I'll make whatever you want, but you're gonna have to throw me something for it. And then once I started creating more of the music that I wanted to make, I actually started start writing here and there again. I've actually, to keep it 100, I've thrown the idea around of just making an album like for myself. You know what I mean? Like because I miss that. I miss rapping into the mic. I miss mixing my vocals. I miss doing that. But I put such a high standard, you know, on my lyricism because when I was a lyricist, I was trying to be the best lyricist. It was during that time, you know, where that was part of the culture. Like if you were signing up to rap, you were signing up to be better than everybody. Like that's what we were doing. There was nobody who wasn't competitive. Now that competition doesn't exist, but you know, I can't get past 8 bars. Like I can, and it's crazy game because I used to write 2 songs a day. Every day, my routine was I would wake up, I would watch this Lil Wayne video and I would watch the same video every day because I'm obsessive like this. And he would come in and he would say like, you know, everybody wants to come to the studio and they want to rap. Dog, when I come to the studio, I got clips. That's why I drop this content so fast because I'm rapping. I'm gonna do 8 songs a day. So I was like, I need to figure out how to do 8 songs a day. You know, and that's how I would pump myself up now. And then I see like guys like Pusha T, you know, create that great piece of work, and you know he's older than me. I'm like, dude, I can still do that, you know. But you know, now it's a time thing, bro. Like it takes me, and this is just the truth, bro. It's gonna take me 3 to 4 hours to write a whole song. Right. Bro, like that's 3 to 4 hours I could be getting paid, you know. So
yeah,
you know,
I agree, and that's what I kind of dislike about this whole. Now, I will admit I started the wave, like how to do something in 2 minutes, like how to make a Lil Yachty beat in like 5 minutes. I get that I started that wave, but people think that's the reality of like beats. Like real songs take 3 hours to write lyrics. So when I'm on my live streams, for example, you're gonna see the process of the songwriter. Like, you know, and that's what kind of why I respect hip hop going into a more melodic thing, because now I can say less but stretch it out longer, like the R&B guys.
Yeah.
And I don't have to sit there for 8 hours coming up with double entendres and metaphors and all this. It takes too long to rap.
Yeah, no, because that's how I write. I write like Nas, where the whole first bar, it's gonna rhyme with the whole second bar, and it's gonna line up, ding 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 ding. Like I need the quadruple entendre. Otherwise it isn't fun, you know. Because that's the beautiful thing about like 90s hip hop lyricism is when you say like, all right, I'm gonna do a verse and it's gonna be, you know, double entendre. You then shrink the pool of words that you can rhyme, and in shrinking the pool of words with rhyme that you can use in your rhyme, you're shrinking what you can actually say. So the skill comes in is, how can I say something coherent with a message that comes from me by limiting myself to only these rhyming words. You know what I mean? Like that's that's the lost art. You know, that melody stuff is cool, bro. I get it, but
it's
you
cool.
know,
it's cool.
but you know, I mean, anybody could be like, hey, fuck on your bitch, hey, I'm gonna get rich, hey, we gon', you know, like, come on, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
And you know what I don't like is when like lyricists try to do that AA stuff. It's
nah,
like,
it doesn't work.
Succumb to the trend, man. Keep it real.
Yeah.
But this battery is honestly running out. Even though I'm charging it, I'm at 2%, and I know I don't want it to just cut off out of nowhere.
Damn, dog, we've been on for a minute. We did 220, bro. Well, you know what, bro, we're gonna have to do this again because this is way too easy.
Yeah, I didn't even know we're just having real conversations. Trust me, this is not like one of those people who are passive aggressive. My battery literally, I don't want it to die while we're talking, and then you think I just bounced out.
Yeah.
Even though I'm charging it, it's weird, but this was fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to create more value together. And I believe, again, you're one of the value creators. Like you said, you got disgusted when you heard the advice of these other seminars and these other videos or whatever. They just give such vague,
Hey, bro,
non-directional advice.
let's do
Can you
something
hear me?
about it. Yeah, no, no,
Oh,
let's do something about it.
yeah, I
Let's do
agree.
something about it. I understand your battery's about to die, bro, but hit me up. Let's talk more about it in private. I am, I move, dude. I'm a worker, so
Okay.
let's work.
There we go. See, live. This is how life works. All right, guys. Well, I'm acting like this is my channel. It's not my channel.
All right, hey, bro. I appreciate everybody stopping by the stream. I appreciate Game, the FL Studio Pope,
Yeah.
coming through, bringing his tribe. I appreciate you. I appreciate Game interacting with the chat and everybody. And hopefully you guys are gonna see, a lot more content, a lot more streams coming from us, man. Because this was too easy, bro.
Yeah, I
And
literally felt like 10 minutes, to be
yeah,
honest.
bro. And hey, congratulations on your move out to LA, bro. It's a beautiful city, bro. You're gonna do great things out there.
God willing, God willing. Well, I appreciate you for inviting me, man. You didn't even have to. I was just like, hey, you want to discuss this? You're like, yeah. You could have easily blew off the message. You could have easily did something else. So
Nah, yeah, bro. But people freak out when they see us, bro. You know what I mean? Because it's like FL. It's the DAW zealots. It's the FL guy and the Studio One guy. And I always go so hard on that DAW, so it's natural for people to think like, oh, he don't like Game. He's doing studio like dude. I have trolls come in my forum and they're like, Game's doing Studio One tutorials now. You're dead. And I'm like, all right, bro,
yeah,
whatever,
man.
dude.
I don't want to put out that energy. To be honest and straightforward with everyone, I'd rather us control this content. I don't want these other people controlling it because they're not really sincere about the producer community.
Hey, they're
So if
coming. Hey, dude, they're coming for us.
they're
Real
coming
talk.
for it,
No,
let's
they,
just
no, they, no, it's happening, dude. They're going to try to replace us. You know
mhm.
what I mean? Because they don't like what you're doing. They don't like the way that I talk. They want a corporate. It's like everything, dude. Like the whole independent movement. They're good. They're gonna come for us. They're gonna try to put. And it's real easy because they're just going to try to put people with placements and different social proofs that they think will trump ours, and they'll hope that we'll go away, bro. But we just got to
Right.
keep on moving, evolving, and adapting. And I know you don't have a problem with that, dude.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with everything you just said. I had a point I was gonna make, but I forgot. Uh, I don't know. I forgot my point. I had a point, but I forgot.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
bro. We'll do it again, bro. Hit me up. Let's talk more, bro, and let's strategize, man. I'm open to it. I love it.
What day? I mean, I don't. Okay, what day is good for? I mean, we can do it right now. What day is good for you, or whatever.
As far as what? Hold up, y'all. Hey, y'all keep it simple, but don't be basic, and we will see you on the next one.